Hey, hi, this is Sureka and I'm going to explain what is .NET Remoting and here it goes. And this video contains all the information regarding the procedures and the softwares required and how the actual client-server communication established with the help of .NET Remoting. And firstly, what is remoting? And remoting is simply an inter-process communication which occurs between two application domains which are separated by a network, and it is independent of the remoting boundaries. Actually, this happens in .NET framework. It's only with the help of common language runtime, and this makes it possible for remoting. And to add on, remoting is a .NET replacement of DCOM. It is distributed component object model, and it was originally designed by Network OLE, and it extends the communication substrate of Microsoft Complex. And that's it about it. And again, the objects which resides in the application domain may reside in the same machine or in a different machine, and this is what is referred as .NET remoting. And the overall architecture, the architecture, here it goes. This is a client application. The client application consists of the HTML code or ASPX page, whatever it may. It contains the code for the request that will be sent to the server. So here is a client code, and from here the request will be made with the help of proxy. So before moving to proxy, it is necessary to describe what is application domain, that is app domain. This app domain contains assemblies, and the object in the same application can communicate with the help of these assemblies. That is, if the object reside in different machine, in order to make it make the connection reliable and for making communication effective, so that this can be done by the help of creating proxies or with the help of copying the object. So that is what is done here. So from the client application, we'll move to the proxy. So we'll take the copy of the object, or a proxy of that object is created. So here, what is a proxy? So a proxy is a object that exists and acts locally on behalf of the remote object. So it is a replacement of an object. We can say in a very simple way, it is a replacement of an object. So that is what is referred as proxy. So we have created the proxy. So almost it is done. So after that, we need to marshal the parameters which are required for the request. For example, consider for a registration, then we do need to have the username as a parameter, or the his last name, and maybe the address or something like that. For a ticket reservation or something, a cinema bucket reservation, so they need to provide the name, and for net banking they need to provide their card number and all. So those are the parameters. So all these parameters are need to be packed here. So the packing is normally referred in .NET remoting as marshalling. So that is what is going to happen here. We will marshal the objects, and after that we will serialize it. Serialize it in the sense, in order to make it available to float over the network, we will make it the change of state occurs. That is what is referred as serialization, and we will see much more deeper into it. So we will serialize here. After that, we will make the serialized object available in the channel. The channel can be of two types. Here what I am going to use is HTTP channel. Anyway, the channel is can be a TCP or HTTP, and both has the separate unique formatters. So after floating in the channel, it can be communicated, and in the receiver side, that is in the server side, we will go and here we establish a client channel, wherein here we will establish a server channel. After establishing a server channel, we will map to the server object here. So after on mapping to the server object, here we will use to have the business code or the business logic. It is none other than, if it is a ticket bucket cinema bucket reservation, then it's going to be a simple insert query into the database. So that particular query will be executed here. After on the execution, then the overall communication ends. And that's it about the overall architecture. And the necessary details. What does it mean that is necessary details? So in order to communicate with the help of remoting, in order to make it with the remoting, we need these things. That is what I mean is, it is the activation type. Activation in the sense, either of the people can activate. Either the client or the server can activate the communication. So that is what is referred as type of activation. And next comes the metadata. Metadata is none other than the parameters. Parameters are required to be passed over the network. And the channel registration. The channel registration is very simple. That is we'll take, if at all it is a TCP channel, then we need to register for it with the help of the port number. And if at all it is a HTTP channel, then we need to register with the help of its port number. Those things we have to do in this registered channel way. So, and nextly it is a URL, and the URL actually refers to that is simply a server activation method. After on you are registering, you are provided with a URL, so that when the client provides a request, when it goes to the server, it could be easily identified with the help of the URI. So that is what is uniform resource identifier. So these are the necessary details that we have to know before moving to .NET Remoting. So what are the supporting softwares that are used? So as of now I have used, these are the softwares, and these are the sufficient softwares needed to establish .NET Remoting. So those includes the Visual Studio 2010 or above, and the development test server, that is Cassini, and IIS server, Internet Information Server. So once you just ready with your server, you can create a virtual directory there and you can upload it. An SQL server, that is 2005 Express Edition, which is a backend database what I am using right now, and the Oracle 10G, and the Windows operating system, that is right now I am using 64-bit. And the client tier and its features. So as I mentioned before, the client application has HTML page or ASPX page. Both are, and HTML is an hypertext markup language. It is just a markup language, not a programming language, as we all know, and describes the page content. We do have different cascading style sheets in order to design it in a interactive way. And that is about the client tier and client server communication. Here comes the climax. It's not the climax, actually the main part. So marshalling. So once we got the object, we need to marshal it. As I mentioned, marshalling is something like packing and unpacking of parameter and returning the values of a particular method call. That is what is referred as marshalling. So here we will marshal here, and that is we'll pack here, and in the server side we'll unpack it. So that is what is referred as marshalling. And the marshal can happen with the help by two ways. One is by reference, another is by method. So reference is like we'll take the memory reference proxy of that particular object. We'll take only the memory reference proxy, whereas for marshal by value, we'll take the we'll take the variables. What I mean is the object copies, not the proxies. We'll take the object copies. And to add on, the static methods and variables cannot be proxied. So the variables which I have declared as static cannot be passed as with the help of referencing and all. So here it comes the marshal by value. So it is referred as object. So that is about it, and that's it all. And serialization. This is what I mentioned. In order to float it over the network, we need to serialize the object what we have created. That is maintaining or converting the state of an object into a form. It can be transported in an easy way. So this can happen in two types. One is binary serialization, and the next is XML serialization. Binary serialization, it is very simple, that preserves the state of the particular object, and whatever the type of invocation, it preserves its state. Whatever, for a good example, we can say that we can serialize the object in a clipboard or a drive, whatever it may, but the state will be preserved. But whereas in XML serialization, it cannot be, because the thing is, whenever we want to provide a consumer data, by restricting the application, this can be applied. So that is why the XML came into an existence, and since it is also an open standard, it can be familiarly used. And activation types. And here comes the client-side activation or the server-side activation. Client-side activation in the sense that all the lifetime of a variables are under the control of the server. So that is what is referred as server activation. So it can happen in two ways. First thing is, it can be a singleton or it can be a single call. A singleton is simply the one instance at any point of time. For each and every point of time, you'll have only one instance of the object which has been created or activated. Whereas in single call, we'll have one instance per client request. For example, consider Flipkart, and I'm going for a shopping over there. I'm going to choose a t-shirt and a shoe, and for example, take a pillow, something like that. So for each and every request what I made, for each and every request, for a shoe, for a pillow, and for a shirt, the three particular separate instances will be created in a single call. But whereas in singleton, it's going to be the one. So for each and every client request, it can be a single instance in a single call, whereas it is single in a client singleton. So that is what the minute difference between these two things. And the client activated types. Client activated types are very simple. that we can say like the lifetime of the variable fully lies in the client. I mean, we are responsible for holding it, and like that. And next comes the channel. So we have created everything, activated and all. And moving to channel, as I mentioned, there are two types of channels. One is TCP/IP and HTTP. And TCP, as we all know, it's something one above than UDP, and HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol, which is one of familiarly used, and each and every protocol has its own characteristics. That is what is formattus. So the characteristics are defined by the formattus. Formattus is that we wire the format by associating with a particular default structure. That is, each and every formatter will have a particular unique structure. Based on that, the protocol communication actually happens. So that is what is formatter. And TCP channel uses the binary formatter, or the binary in a sense too, right? So it's going to be the binary formatter. And HTTP uses SOAP formatter, that is single object access protocol formatter. Here it has an XML format, that is everything will be meant in the form of tags, SOAP envelope, SOAP body tag, and SOAP header tag, and all the parameters will be provided in the SOAP within the SOAP body. And that is about formatters. And the client tier. So here is the communication ended. So about the client server communication we have seen. And next comes the server tier. Server tier contains the connection establishment and business logic. If at all we are going to connect with the database, then we'll write our business logic over there. And if it is the database tier, we'll have all the corresponding MySQL database and Oracle database and so on and so forth. And the procedure for .NET remoting. And here goes the procedure. First, the supporting softwares need to be installed. That is a Visual Studio 10, 12 or other previous versions need to be installed. And the other thing is, you need to, if at all you are going to connect Oracle, then you need to have an Oracle bundle with it. So actually now all the versions of the Visual Studio don't support the Oracle data provider, which is inbuilt. So you need to provide Oracle ODAC bundle separately and install it, and so that you can run the Oracle data provider in your Visual Studio. So that is main thing to be noted. And for MySQL database, you need to have a MySQL installer community, and you need to have a MySQL connector 6.8 for it. So you need to have to download from the net and do install it appropriately. And here it goes. And I'm going to create a project. It's a web application, so I'm going to create a website. Additionally, and yeah, here is the website, and it's a ASP website, and I'm going to name it as demo. Okay. So it's running, let it be. And before that, you have to go for Oracle 10G. In order to access a database, for MySQL we don't have a separate view for a database, but in Oracle do provides those things. So I'm going for Oracle 10G. So go to database homepage. So here it has arrived. So the thing is, you could visualize these things. This is my client application. It has a default ASPX page, and here and before creating a server and a client, you need to create the interfaces that are required. So I'm going to create and add another project. And it's going to be very easy, not much. Okay, it's a class library, and it's going to be class library 1. So I have created it, and this class library is the one which contains the business logic, and as of now I have created it separately, but it's actually lies in the server. So this is a thing, and here in turn we'll write the codes, appropriate codes, and again I'm going to create an interface. Add new project, and for that I'm going to create an interface separately. Yeah, that too a class library, but in order to differentiate, let me put it as intred, intred. So the interface has been created. Actually this is a class, but wherein we need an interface, so delete it and create an interface. New item, and you need to create an interface. This is the interface, and I'm naming the interface as INTIF, right? Fine. I have created an interface, I have created the class, and as of now I have created the separate web application, and now I have to create my server. It's a console application. Why I'm going to a console application in the sense so that we can view separately that the server is also running and the client is also running. So this can be put it in a separate solution too, but for convenience access I am just using in the same solution. So let this be named as server, and that's it about it. We have created all these things, and before moving into it, you need to create the interface. So interface, yeah, you need to have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to register for an event in that has conducted in our college, that is for PEC office. I'm going to create a registration event, and here it goes is the register event has all these following parameters. So all I'm going to do is just copy and paste manually, but I'll provide the code. So this is, and make it public so that it, yeah, that's it. I have made it as public, and I'm going to build it. The build started, is in progress, and yeah, succeeded. So then now I'm going to be the class library, the implementation of all these services. So before going to that, you need to add that reference. Here I'm going to add it. Since I have built the function add reference, that lies in project actually. So yeah, here it is. So I have added, you could find it here in red. So, and I'm going to use this preferences here using yeah, it goes, and now, and here I'm going to write all the necessary codes. So before moving to that, let me tell you a thing. Yeah, fine, I have created, and I'm going to do use Marshall by object reference method in thread. Dot interef, and this is the interface what I have used, and let me implement that interface. Yeah, you could find it has implemented it. So again you need to write the business logic here. So this is my business logic, that is inserting a query into an Oracle DB. So I have inserted, and this is the Oracle data source connection. I'll explain you shortly how this connection need to be established here. Okay, since I have used Oracle connection, you need to connect to Oracle database. So let's see how it can be done. In database connections, you need to have provide add connection, and in add connection you need to select the Oracle DB. So most probably in many of the Visual Studio we could not able to access that. So for that you need to have ODAC bundle. So be pleased to remember that. So yeah, now I got the Oracle database, and you need to select Oracle .NET data provider for Oracle. So click OK. It will be returning asking you for the server name. It's simply the localhost and the username and the password. So once you ask for the test connection, if at all you have ODAC bundle, it will be displaying as test connection succeeded. If you don't have, then you have TNS error. So please make a note of it. And I have established a connection, and now I'm going to add the corresponding Oracle libraries into my project. It lies in .NET, and this is Oracle. So see, this is Oracle Data Access, and these are the two assembly libraries you need to add to our folder. And after that, simply yeah, that's it. Now it's gone. Fine. Right now I have created my class library, and I'm going to build it. So each and every time you need to build the process so that you could get to know that whether you are going in the right path or not. So I have created my class libraries and interfaces. Next, moving to server. It is very simple. You need to establish a register for the HTTP channel and make the connection. And this is my server. And this is my server. You will get all those errors. Let me see. And since you have built your Oracle application, you need to in server, all these interfaces and class library will reside in this server. So for easy convenience, I have just split it out. So you need to add the class libraries and its implementation here. Both things need to be added. So I have added it, and I'm going to use it here. Yes, I have implemented that. And additionally, you need to add for establishment of the HTTP channel, you need to add these things. System runtime remoting. Only then you could be able to do the connection. Yeah, here it comes. Oh no. Once again. I have added it, and you need to import all those files. This is what this thing. I imported it, and you could see all those things going on. So this is class library 1, and that is a class 1. What is the thing I have used? The class 1.cs. And the other thing is also class 1, and I have used a single call, not the singleton. So that is about it. And now moving to the client page. Already I have designed for my college. That is a register page. So this is about it. Yes, you'll find some sort of errors here. Well, the thing is, you didn't add the interface definitions, not the implementation. If you have add your interface implementation, then it is not set to be a remoting. So you need to add those things. Add only your interface, not this. Okay, only this and not this, and you need to use it here. You could find all DLL libraries that I have created. Got it. And this is the interface. int intref. So, and I need to change it accordingly. Intref dot intf. So here it goes. That's it. So that's it about the implementation. I have got all these parameters and I'm making the request that tc.register. So here I got the parameters and the request will be, the response will be in this particular string. So that is about it. And again you need to build the application. So build it. So build started and it succeeded. You could get the notification here. And for server 2 you need to build it. I hope I have did that. Progress and succeeded. And that is about it. So all you need to do is to run it. Before that, let me go and see to my Oracle. Login. Here it will press this, it will ask you to log on to your system. And that is what. And here the thing I have used is the same thing, localhost system and system password, and I'm going to insert it into a register tab, right? So let me see whether I did it correctly or not. So here in turn, select star. I'm going to list all the list of records that resides in server registered tab. Yeah, here I have Ilakya Bhatla Sureka with different last names and Sureka Prema and all. And now I'm going to insert a record named Charles. Let me run my application. Yeah, it's running, and you get the server starting in a console application and the web application separately. See, it has been, you could find this. Yeah, it has been started, and my register ASPX. And in order to set all those multiple projects to run at a time, you need to go to properties and solution. Then it's only a few change. You need to select this multiple startup projects. Start, and then you need to start the server. And if at all you do this, you could find these two things available. Yeah, this is my GUI. It is not much more pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to insert Charles. And Charles, last name. and his qualification is BTech. Let me say it is TDS. His PAN card number B432 and his designation is B senior ASS, senior assistant SB1, and email char@gmail.com. Similarly, you can give all these, and he's a kind of recruiter here, and his name is Char, and password is also Char. It's like Karna. Fine, I'm going to register it. Once I just click on the button register, you could view it is registered successfully, and yeah, it's registered successfully. And let me check from the database table. Yeah, I got the result. Charles, name Roti, BTech. I have inserted the record successfully. Similarly, you can do for your web application, and this is about the .NET remoting, and you can put it in different solution and you can access it. All you need to do is be cautious with the database providers and on the remoting access and all in HTTP protocols. I have done with HTTP, and you can try with TCP too. And thank you for watching my video. Thank you.